Is that working now? Hello, YouTube. I won't need like a starting soon timestamp, will I? I don't know why. My YouTube studio was a little bit glitchy. I've just been talking generally about Euthia a little bit. I haven't started, don't worry. Hi everyone though, and that's been patiently waiting, and thanks for joining me. So yeah, I was saying there's all sorts of different modes. There's co-op, there's competitive, all sorts of things in Euthia. I'm playing the solo. Co-op is pretty similar. I'm playing the solo version today. In the first scenario, there's loads of different scenarios, loads of different ways you can play. Like the goal of this is basically to fight difficult monsters and get loads of points. And others you might have tournaments at the end. There are semi-cooperative things. There are all sorts of things involved in there, and then there's expansions and stuff you can buy. And I just mentioned as well that there are some things like I've got the minis for the characters rather than the standees, and I've got metal coins, and there are minis for the elementals that come out. Just to say, it depends which version you get. They don't necessarily come with every one. So yeah, check out what comes in yours. There is also a great-looking app that I haven't used yet that can take care of the combat for you for solo and co-op games. It means you don't need the cards or anything for any of these monsters. If we see, hopefully it keeps my angle. Well, you can't see all of the decks that I've got, but I've got different monster decks, all of this stuff. I don't think you need that with the app. I only saw it as I was setting this up earlier, which, spoilers for talking about the game. The setup takes a long time. There's a lot of components to this game. It is a Gloomhaven-sized, I think taller than Gloomhaven, kind of box full of stuff. And yeah, so if I do I will be doing a future stream of this at some point, probably close to the time. There's an expansion coming to crowdfunding in February, I think. So I'll do another scenario at least by then, because spoilers as well. I've really been enjoying Yuthia. But yeah, I might try it with the app. For now, I've got all of the combat cards and everything. In the competitive game, when you fight a monster, other players kind of bid to take control of that monster and fight against you. And if they can kill you, they'll get some extra points, usually. But in the solo and cooperative game, you don't want to do that. So there is a really good card-based AI system. But you'll see all of that as we get into it. Hey, Willem. Hi, Matt. Skywatcher. How's it going? You ready for some adventure? So I am playing as Kalea. I thought I would pick... It doesn't make much sense now. I thought I'd pick a character I haven't been yet. I've been a couple of characters, usually spellcasters. Kalea seems to be a hunter. Later on, might get stealth, a hunting bow, that kind of stuff. For now, we've just got a quarterstaff, my only weapon. Don't start off with anything else. Some characters start off with a couple of skills and things. The Velcro. Oh, well, you won't have seen the starting suit screen where my green screen Velcro was getting everywhere. And yeah, I was hoping for a greater variety of Christmas jumpers, but as you can see in my, what's the last playthrough that I did? Is it the Square and Circleville one? In the last playthrough that I filmed, where I was wearing a shirt and it's all green screened out, because, hey, surprise, surprise, Christmas jumpers usually have green on them. And I just had a quick look at all the other ones that I could model for you, and they've all got some green on, apart from the Homer one and the Mr. Plow Homer one. But I can show off the mug that I was going on about yesterday. Bonus points if you recognize where the mug's from or what the mug's replicating. Right, let's get to it then. So the hunt scenario that I keep tabbing out of. So, like a heavy rain, the ferocious monsters flooded the land. Even people living in the previously safe neighborhoods of the church are scared to death and refuse to go out day and night. It is time to hunt these creatures down. The game is going to last 7 rounds. That's going to be tracked in the middle of this board. My score is going to be tracked on the outside, my reputation. The goal is to defeat level 2 monsters. They're tough cookies. And there's setup rules that tell you how you should start things off, although things will start in a different order. We start with a healing potion. That, surprise, surprise, will heal you a bit. And yeah, it's keep hold of your level 2 monsters, the special rules say, because they're worth 2 extra points each at the end of the game. So yeah, there aren't massive changes to the kind of goal of things in the solo game, this particular scenario would be beat your own score. But as I said, there's loads of different scenarios in it. They can have very different things. I've picked this because it is the simplest one. You'll see, all of the mechanics in play without the scenario adding different rules and extra things, and also because it is the shortest one. And yeah, the streams were a little bit early this week because I was worried about how long some of the games might take. But hey, we're doing a nighttime one tomorrow. Yeah, so this reckons 30 minutes per player. I am a kind of slow player anyway. I would say that sounds pretty quick to me. The setup and teardown time aside, yeah, I would be surprised if this could take me half an hour. Let's see, though. Let's do this amazingly fast stream. Hey, Joel. If you like this way, thank you. I was just saying, I am limited in my my jumper choice because apart from the role player adventure stream, we don't need the green screen, or can't use the green screen because it's not big enough. The green screen doesn't work well with all of these Christmassy jumpers with green on them. Right, so I need to take actions on my turn. You can see in my player area here, so this is my player board. It's got your starting abilities and weapons. Kelia only has a quarterstaff, which is going to be the weapon that we attack with when we fight monsters. And I have the healing potion that the scenario mentioned. And at the start of my turn, I get these action tokens. So each action token has two uses. You can either use it to move this amount, or you can use it for its action. So there's 1 movement or mining action, 2 movement or a trade action, 3 movement or a combat action. And there are some good player aids to help you out in this. So the gameplay at the beginning of each round, put 1 each of the tokens on your board, ready everything that you exhausted you turned around last time. Everything that's inactive becomes active again. And on your turn, now I'll say that there is a huge rule book for Euthia. It is very, very well done, very, very well organized and explained. But there are a lot of things going on in Yuthia, a lot of things that could possibly happen. It's a big learn, it's a big teach, but once you are actually in the game, a lot of those things are, situational and concern combinations of things, and you won't necessarily need those things all the time. It's you need to know them, but I'm just saying that, even though there's a big flowchart for how combat works, loads of those steps can be skipped until you've got until you come across skills or abilities that use those particular phases. So there's a lot written down here, but generally it's simpler than it looks, is what I'm trying to say. Hey, Michael, we are doing the hunt scenario. We're starting out basic. And yeah, we're going to try and kill some monsters. So I can move, I can mine, trade, or combat, and I can do free actions if any are available at locations that I'm at. You can repeat actions if you've got tokens for them, because you can have up to 1 token hanging around from a previous turn. And yeah, the end of the round in just a single player game, the time will move on. So one thing I need to remember, at the start of every turn in the solo game, you need to take this is true for co-op as well. A lot of the things I say will be true for co-op too. There's a couple of extra things to know for co-op, but generally it's similar structure to the solo game. We need to take a silver card here. These are monster combat cards, essentially. They are special abilities the monsters we fight will be able to use. And we get a cache of these. We get special piles that when we fight the monsters, they will draw from these piles. Rather than the decks themselves, they have to have these cards available. When we get to 4 silver cards, they turn into a gold card, which have, as you might expect, nastier abilities on them. So that's what I need to remember to do at the start of the turn for co-op. So if we have a look at the map, it's looking pretty empty right now, and I've kind of padded it out with all of these trays of tokens and things. But as soon as we start moving, it will start to fill up. So on this starting tile, and the scenario told me which starting tile to use, we're on the church here in the middle. There is a portal in this space. Portals are free actions, basically, to jump between portals on the map. At the start, we've only got that one. But I am in the church, so on these tiles with a great big illustration in the center, that is an extra space. Usually there are 3 hexes on a tile. This has got a special space in the middle, and for a movement point you can go from the central space to one of the outside spaces. As soon as you step on a space, and all of its sides aren't surrounded, you draw more map tiles and see what surrounds you now, which can very much change the predicament you find yourself in. So I think we're probably not going to be doing any trading this turn, because to trade in places you generally have to defeat a monster first. So I think I'm going to get 2 movement points here and forego my trading. So I'm going to spend this, and I've got 2 movement points. There are tokens, see these tokens here, there are tokens to kind of pause your movement at any point. You can do actions, you can do all sorts of things, and then resume your movements. You are not restricted in that way. So you have tokens that can remind you of how much movement you've got left. I think I'm going to go up like this. I am now on a space that's not surrounded by things, so I need to draw tiles. The scenario told me which tiles to use. In a solo game, you generally use the same base tiles, but there are scenario-specific tiles and then main tiles that are all randomized and drawn for your particular game. So even if you play the same scenario and you've got those same base tiles in, there'll be several other randomized tiles from the chapter you are playing. So you decide where it's going first, just so you can't cheat when you find out what's there. So we have found ourselves a wind elemental right next to where we are standing, who can affect things that we have to do. Anytime we need to make a dice roll in a space adjacent to the wind elemental, he is going to flip our highest rolled die, which sometimes can be great. Say you roll a 2 and a 1, fantastic, thanks for doing that. But you roll a 6 and a 1, you've now got 2 1s. So that's something to bear in mind. We can also go onto the space, and for a free action, we can confront the elemental, do a hero roll, and maybe get some rewards, maybe take some damage from him. So that's one thing we've found. And the next thing we've found, there's some treasure to be discovered. There's a shop that we can go to, the alchemist shop. There's just a monster to fight over there. There's a portal we can now zoom between. There's a mountain where we can go mining if we defeat the monster that's already there. And finally, to my right, we have found ourselves some more treasure we can go and discover, some more mining, and an encounter. So for the encounter, I've got this ready as best I could, but there's still going to be some sifting through decks as we go through these things. So you go through the massive encounter card stack, find the relevant picture on the card backs. In the solo stroke co-op game, you shuffle them up. There is one location in the game, I think, where you need solo specific cards, and there are competitive cards normally, but generally they're all the same like this. You shuffle them all up, discard 4 of them, so there's only going to be 3 available in your game, and reveal 2 to look at. So these are basically quests that we can do at this location, and they'll restock if we do one. So those quests in this case are bring one of these particular gems over here for 4 money and a reputation. Reputation is points. And liberate at least 1 place of trade. So places of trade are any of these places here where we can trade stuff, essentially. So you will see their symbols come up as we go through the game. There is a place of trade. There's an alchemist's shop there. Liberating it is going and fighting the monster there. You need to liberate it to be able to shop there. Once a person liberates it, anyone can shop there. But if I liberated it, I could then zip back over here and say, I liberated that. Can you give me... Oh, you can do more as well. You can do more if you get 2 gold for every one that you liberated, 1 reputation for the card in general. So I can go there and fulfill some quests if I like. Hey, Dream Sprite. Oh, you have a Marvel one, nice. I saw that there's a Beatles Help one that I would really like, but I don't think it would come in time for Christmas, and it's pointless at that point, unless it's really cheap. I've got a Mr. Plow one as well that I wore the other day. That's, like, we opened the suitcase with all of the Christmas wear in it, and that was in there all sealed. Completely forgot, because it's been like a year. It was cheap somewhere. Hey, Mark, you did make it. I'm glad you made it. This is the hunt. So we're on basic scenario 1. Not that the scenarios are sequential and there's a big ongoing story. It is, as I said, more similar to Mage Knight's scenarios, not necessarily gameplay wise, but how Mage Knight's scenarios. There's some story, don't get me wrong, but it's giving you a set of constraints, a different end goal, a different way of playing, rather than a big storybook to go through and make decisions and all that kind of thing. Hey, tune into Role Player Adventures for that kind of thing. So, I have still got a movement remaining. I think I would like, as Mark says, confronting elementals. I might take some damage from doing this, but I've got a healing potion and I might get really good things. I think it would be a cool idea to go in and confront an elemental. So, I'm going to use my other movement point that I had left over to go on the space with the wind elemental there. And for a free action, I can confront them. So this basically, make a hero roll. Whenever the game wants you to make a hero roll, you use your dice. I think, again, these are upgraded dice. Sorry, I always feel like I'm not bragging, saying all those things. Just make sure you don't think it comes in every copy. But I think you can get them. So a hero roll. Roll your 2 dice, compare your score to the table, and see what happens. So the wind elemental can teleport you spaces as well. I'm hoping for 9 or more. It would be some great treasure. It would be an elemental token that could be really valuable. It could unlock a space on here. But yeah, it's going to be tricky to roll high. I want to kind of roll... Yeah, it's hard, because I haven't got any modifiers this early on, and he is going to flip my highest die. So it's going to be hard to do well. So we'll see how it goes. 2 and 4, which seems decent. Actually, it would have been decent. It would have gotten me into the next category and got me some nice treasure. Unfortunately, though, the air elemental is flipping my highest die. So the 4 becomes a 3, and that puts me back into the most basic category. I put one of my tokens out to do one of these things. Yeah. Oh yeah, that would be a good point. So I do have, which I just realised I was covertly filling them in as as I went through here. You start with 4 GAR, these tokens that give you rerolls and pluses to your dice in combat. So you can get, you can get abilities and things that will affect combat dice usually, but can affect like your dice as a whole, right? But yeah, you can spend this GAR, and generally the reward that I get, if we look back on the map, unless I roll really well, which is doubtful, I will get a GAR back. So as Mark says, yeah, it's worth doing. So I can pop that down there. You can also use these on enemies and make them roll worse. Well, re-roll their die, so you're hoping they roll worse, but also it gives them a -2 to your roll. It gives you a +2 to the roll. Yeah, and the elemental, the flipping the die, that only happens on the first roll. You modify it, all the stuff that you do happens after that. So, nearly. So now I've got an 8, so I take 2 damage. My health at the moment is 6. The board tells you here, the shaded area tells you your starting health. That can be modified with gear and stuff. So that token is tracking my max health. This token is tracking my current health. So I take 2 damage there. I've got a potion for 2 health, though, if I wanted to just steam on and do some combat. I get a GAR back. So, no, I didn't get 8, did I? Because the GAR gives me +2. So I have done the best thing. I'm not getting a GAR back. Mistake already. I'm not getting a GAR back, but I think it was worth giving up because we're going to get some nice treasure from the kind of level 2 treasure stuff as well. And we're getting a special... Where is it? Here we go. A special elemental essence, which you might want for... Do quests use them and things? Generally, I would use them here for unlocking more slots, because it's 5 money, usually, to unlock this slot. You can spend your essence to do that, but it can just go in this slot for now until I've got a particular use for it. And I've got a level 2 treasure here. Let's see what we found. It's just a token that I can turn in at any time for 2 GAR, or I could sell it for a money if I wanted to. So, yeah, definitely well spent GAR, because I've made an extra Gar and got a cool essence. So I have challenged that elemental now. Put my token on there to show I can't do it again. The elemental is still there though and affects everything around it, and is not teleporting me a couple of spaces as well. So the air essence. Oh, they can. Oh yeah, you can spend the essences as well. Where are they? Yeah, can you see on my player aid here? You can spend the essences to get... Earth gets you +8 to your roll, water can heal you for 4, fire can do 3 extra damage, and air can make the monster roll 1 fewer die. So they've got uses beyond, but generally, especially early on, when money's a bit tight, and with other characters though, you start with more abilities, so you're more kind of hemmed in and want those extra spaces. I've got an extra space for now for certain things, for fast things, another weapon or a crystal ball type item. But there we go. I think that was a good first move. So I could still move again. I'm kind of thinking, so I've got my 1 move stroke mining and my 3 move stroke combat. I think I just want to move 1 and let's show you some combat. I've only got very basic things. Like, I haven't got a lot of stuff at the moment, but I've also got no money. So, I need money and other things to be able to do other stuff. So, I could go... The other thing is, I could go mining here and just do a load of walking this round. Because this space will just give me something for walk. That's another free action that you can do, dig for treasure. Only 1 person can do it on each space. And I would reveal more things. Maybe just go walkies and do some combat next time. It could be something to do. Yeah, you will get Gar from this space. And I could do, like, going here will reveal more spaces as well, and they could be closer to me. Just to show off more things. Strategically or not. I think it is decent strategically, though. I'm going to move another space. Let's get onto this mountain. And my final token is going to be used for combat. You can only go on a space that will initiate combat if you're going to do combat. So, I'm going to do it. So my rewards will be 2 Gar and a money if I succeed at this combat, and rewards maybe from the monster. We go to the level 1 monster deck here, and it tells you, the monsters in this deck have a range of 3 to 5 dice, 3 to 5 health. They will deal 1 to 3 damage, and you can only get reputation from them. You can only get rewards for defeating them if your reputation is 15 or less. So, really, really beefy guys later on can't hold other people back, I guess, from fighting the easy ones. So my reward will be a combat card, which in the cooperative, in the competitive game, you want this because you will be taking control of the monsters to play with other people. So you want the monster cards so you can kill the other players, basically. In the solo game, I think, I don't know if there's another use, Mark, but you can trade 4 of them in for a money in the solo stroke co-op game. So I'll be fighting someone from here. Let's have a look who we've got. This is my kind of combat zone. Yeah, the Silver Cash has got 1 card in it every turn. We are fighting a Gecko. So the Gecko's got 4 health. It tells me to add this many cards to the cache. None. And it gets 2 Chaos tokens, which are used to play cards, and 0 Gar tokens, which it will use in the same way that I use them. It will, well, not quite in the same way. It will use them to boost its own dice, perhaps. Now there is, I won't use this on camera because I haven't asked for permission from the creator. It's a very, very good thing. If you've got Yuthia yourself, Magellan 2K in the files section of Board Game Geek has made a lovely combat flowchart just to make sure you've got all the phases. But as I said earlier, you generally won't be doing all of the phases. Later on, maybe, when you've got all sorts of abilities and items and all of that, generally, early on, it can just be, well, skip, 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 skip. There's a relevant phase. Skip, 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 skip. You still need to know that they're coming. So the flowchart is, before we have combat, reset the Die of Hope, which is a really cool system. If you roll badly or the monster rolls well, this die ticks up and you can spend pips from it to add to your dice, do more damage, or get Gar tokens. So there we go. Equip, unequip. You've got one last chance now to swap items from your bag to be equipped, have all your things in the right slots before combat starts. You might have outside of combat items and abilities at the start. It's going to be pretty simple for me ability-wise. I just have my quarterstaff. Then, first strike abilities. Anything with a lightning bolt in it is a first strike ability, and you can use now at the start of combat. There can be several rounds of combat, but first strike just happens, at the start of it. Then we have the hero healing phase. So this is when you can use all sorts of your healing stuff. I didn't actually take any damage in the end because the roll got boosted so much. So I don't need to do any healing. And then we go to the monster attack phase. So in the monster attack phase, we will have, when I told you about the air essence, you see this symbol here, the monster symbol, and then an arrow to the left of it. This is like before the monster. So this is the time I could use abilities that happened before the monster. That symbol will be on various things you have. Don't have any of that right now. So the monster then goes, and I think I've got an angle where I can show you both things at the same time. Worst bit of this angle, I love the multi-angles. Didn't have time to get the same colour to come up on all of the camera things. But hey, that's a job for another time. So these things don't particularly need to be in this camera angle. Okay, so there's the gecko. There's She's intervention. So we look at the combat deck and we draw a card from it. And so instead of the monster rolling dice, it has dice and a lot of the relevant things will still happen. But instead of just rolling them and leaving it all up to chance, it's built in to these cards here. So the card tells you the monster's roll. It rolled 5. So if the monster rolled a 10 or a 12 before modifying, the die would tick up. It didn't roll very well, so it's not going to. This part of the card tells you which tokens the monster is going to try and spend now. It's going to try and spend up to 2 Gar tokens. It will spend Gar tokens to reroll if its dice are like 3 or below. So it would try and spend them if it had any. The card did not tell me to give the gecko any of those tokens. This card does not tell me that it's spending any chaos tokens, so it's not going to draw any of these cards to use right now anyway. So that's the monster. Set the monster dice. Remove the left die of air essence. Oh, actually, we are playing in the space adjacent to the air elemental still. So that means the monster's best die is flipped, but this is going to happen to me as well. Yep. +1. Elemental effects. Then, does the monster spend Gar tokens? No, because it hasn't got any. Any abilities on the cards the monster played? It didn't play any cards. The hero player. I can now spend Gar tokens on their red side, so I can make the monster reroll a die, and the token itself gives a -2 to the overall roll. I can spend several tokens this way if I want to. As it is, it's rolled 4, which puts it into this category of 2 damage. If it rolls a 2 to 9, it's going to do 2 damage. Now, I think I would have to be fairly lucky, right? It would have to roll like a 1 or a 2 on this die. And then with the -2 from my Gar token, the total would be 1, and then it wouldn't do any damage. I feel like I would probably have to spend a couple of Gar tokens, which I could afford to do, but I would kind of rather save them for when it rolls a 10, I think. Maybe use that next time. Or save the Gar tokens to boost my own rolls if they go terribly. I think I'm going to take the hit for now. So this is where I could play Gar tokens and after monster with the arrow to the right abilities. Don't have any things yet. So the monster attack inflicts injuries on the hero. I've taken 2 damage. Then we have another hero healing phase. So I could use my healing potion here and go right back up. I'm not going to though. It might be an idea because I suppose like it could play cards next time and do something nasty to me. But I'll get another healing phase. The hero attack phase now. The monster might have abilities on the cards that it played that would affect me now, affect my roll, that kind of thing. It didn't play any cards, so we can ignore that. I might have before attack abilities that's just an arrow facing to the left. Then my attack. My attack has to be with a weapon like this. The weapon tells me what my hero roll is going to do, basically. On a 5 to 9, I'll do 2 damage. On a 10 or more, I will do 3 damage. And yeah, the elemental. Remember, the elemental is in effect and will affect my dice. So let's see what happens on my roll. Oh dear. That's pretty much the worst thing that could happen when you're fighting next to the earth elemental, the wind elemental, because my highest die, my 6, turns into a 1. So I've got snake eyes. So I feel like I need to spend at least a gar boosting that die up, either of the dice, so I can do something. I don't want to sit here for rounds and rounds while it's pummeling away at me. 5, that's better. So now I've got 6, 7, 8. It is tempting to use one more and do the reroll to do 3 damage, but at the same time, it's got 4 health. If it had 3 and that would kill it, I think I would spend another one. But I haven't got like a 1 damage option, so I think I'll hang on to the rest of the Gar and just be happy with that. Spend Gar tokens, abilities, and items. Spend pips on the Die of Hope. So my initial roll before, yeah, you tick the die up if you rolled 2 to 5 before the Earth Elemental messes with it, and so I did roll 7, so the die doesn't tick up. So I've done 2 damage to it, basically. I can get my damage tokens and pop them on. It's got half health. Do that, deal the damage. Is the monster defeated? No. Loop back around to the first healing phase. Now, I don't think that the card it's got, that it's probably going to play, is going to massively hurt me, but I'm going to be incredibly cautious and do my healing, I think. Heal me back up to 6. Oh, do you know what we're forgetting? I'm getting so excited to show you combat and everything. As soon as I step on this space, right, we're supposed to see... Actually, as soon as I stepped on the elemental space, we should have seen this. Just in case, it might change your mind over what to go. Like, I could have gone there and gone mining with no trouble. But, yeah, so we could have seen that. I'm not going to change my decision. It's just we might encounter another elemental that might affect us further. We didn't, luckily, because that might have involved some takebacks. There we go. That's the map that surrounds us, though. So there's some more free mining here that we could do. Right, back to the combat. So we go back again. I've done my healing phase, the monster attack phase. It's got nothing that really affects it. I would have to play my air essence, of course, now, before we see its dice. I can't see that it's rolled really well and then say, oh, I want it to have 1 fewer die. You've got to do that before. So we see. I'm not using it, by the way. It rolled a 9. Not enough to tick up the die again, but enough to make me a bit worried. And it's going to use a chaos token. So this means, you'll see this more later on if they build up some cards, but there's ways that their cards can stack and their abilities get more powerful. They've only got 1 card in the cache, though, so it's not going to get more powerful. So we would draw the next card, and if that was also enhancement, it would get added to this, and it would do the bottom ability. But as it is, it's just doing the top level of the ability. So if it rolls a 6 or more, it's doing an extra damage to me, which it isn't going to, actually, because the air elemental is still in the space next to it, and is going to flip its best die. That's the kind of... That's the cool thing about it, that as well as you having this reward system, if things go badly for you or well for the monster, you know, the things that are messing with your dice can have the same... They can be good and bad for the monster as well. Right. So all it's rolled is a 4. So it's going to do 2 damage to me again. So this isn't going to kick in because it didn't roll a 6. It's only rolled a 4, so I'm kind of tempted. I don't know, I could use another Gar to try and get it to nothing, and then I won't take 2 damage. And that would be full health, go into another fight in a bit. I just rolled a 4. I could, of course, re-roll that 3 and it'd be something better. And then it's still rolled a 2. Just thinking I've got a lot of these Gar tokens hanging about. And I'm not necessarily going to get to buy things until I've gone to a place of trade and liberated it first. Oh, sorry, Elemental. So I could just, like, walk down and confront another Elemental next time. Just do a bit of mining, do a bit of confronting, mosey on along. But yeah, I can turn in this scroll for a couple more Gar, and I'm going to get to, if I win this combat. I'm going to try it. Let's try it. So use the Gar, red side up on this 3. What should be a 6 or something? Oh, it makes no difference though. I've not lost anything if it's a 6. That's not the red side. It's a 2, which is perfect, right? So 3 minus 2 for the token that I played. It's only rolled a 1, so it's not doing any damage to me. Best possible outcome there, really. So now, my roll, I haven't got anything, it's still nothing that affects these things. I need to roll at least a 5. And remember, we've got that air elemental messing things up. Now, he's actually going to help me out because I've rolled very badly. I've only got a 4. Because I rolled a 4, the die ticks up to 1. And yeah, then the wind elemental flips my best die, which makes it better. It's now a 5, and I hit on a 5. So really, it would be nice if this had ticked up again, because I could use it to get a Gar token, but I don't need a Gar token. Just I can turn in 1 pip to add 1 to my roll. But no, we're not going to need that. The quarterstaff does 2 more damage. The gecko has 2 damage and 4 health. It is finished. Hi, Anne. How's it going? We're just like, this is the first turn still. We're just about to finish it. We just fought a gecko. Fought and won a gecko. So the monster is defeated. End of combat. And it's just, I'm looking on here to make sure I do all the steps, but the steps are basically get the reward on the space and the reward on the card, really. So the reward on the card is 2 reputation and a silver card. So I get this. This is a quarter of a money, basically, for me. Whenever I gain these things, unless explicitly told otherwise, whenever I gain these cards, the cash also gains a card of that colour. The one that the monster played and all that, everything that the monster did is taken away. All of that is irrelevant now. All these that got played are into their various discard piles. So I've had my silver card and 2 reputation. So I've got my first 2 points there. And you can see actually from my player board, my skills here, if I did go to a shop, there's the opportunity to level up. You have to pay some money to do it, but to reveal what your level up cards are. But I'm going to get the choice of a level up now I'm at 2 reputation. So that's the rewards for the card itself. I can keep this as a trophy. Maybe there's a quest out that wants a trophy, that kind of thing. But the aim of this is to defeat level 2s, so I don't think there's no need for me to keep it right now. I'll probably reveal a quest immediately in a minute. I can just throw stuff away though, can't I? So I think I can just hang on to that. It takes a space up in your bag. I think I could just hang on to it until I decide I don't want it anymore. And then rewards on the space were 1 money, so I take 1 shiny coin, and 2 Gar. And just like that, I'm rich. But I've got over full Gar, because I can turn that in for 2 Gar tokens anytime I like. And there we go. That is the combat finished with. I need to mark down with one of my tokens the space on the map. That monster is not there now. You can now mine on that space because it is liberated. There is no monster scaring everyone away. You can't mine in peace with a monster there. And that is the round. I've spent all of my tokens. So, end of the round stuff. Move the hero token forward on the round track. The game has not ended. There are 7 rounds in the game. promise that not all rounds will take me like 40 minutes. Then next round begins with the starting player again. So it's just me in a solo game. So we need to put one more card in the silver cache. That happens at the start of every round. Hi, Hans. How's it going? We're just about to start round 2. Yes, starting player again. Do that. Get one of each of your tokens again. 1, 2, 3. Ready everything that's been exhausted. Flip everything that's inactive. And take turns again. So I am kind of... I would like to liberate something and warp back and do that quest that wants you to have warped things. But I'm kind of feeling like walking down, doing some mining. Walking down, doing some elementaling. I might not be able to combat, though, if I move around like that. I could mine right where I am, though, couldn't I? I don't need to go to this space. I'm thinking of this space because there's no combat to do, to be able to mine, to have to do before you mine. But I think I would like to move up and down on the map, just purely for camera reasons. But we can move these out of the way. These don't need to be on camera. I think I'm going to start off doing some mining. So I don't think there's anything you could even know really about mining. There are abilities you can get that will let you like draw several cards, I believe, and look at some, but you just draw the top mining card, right? Hi Kevin, how's it going? Yeah, I can always portal around as well. I can portal back here. But I think I'm standing on a mining space that I've just liberated. It would make sense to do some mining. And let's see what we could get from it. So I'm going to spend my mining action token. So that's one movement I'm not going to get to use. And then we go into the relevant pile of tokens. And let's see what I mined. I have mined a gem. There we go. So I can sell this for 3 money and a reputation. And there might be quests that come up that want that particular mineral and stuff to be found. So I've mined there. And yeah, I could put my mining token on to show you can't mine there again. So now I've got 2 movements or trade, 3 movements in combat. So I can't do trade. So the 2 movements probably just going to be moving. I'm tempted to just have another easier combat over here to try and get 5 money. But then I've got to have another combat before I can go in. I can always teleport back to the... If that combat roughs me up, I can always teleport back to the church, do some healing there. So there's some few actions that you can do when you go to the church. So you don't have to take a trade action. A money for a healing potion. A money to heal 6. No hero token goes there. Does the hero token get taken off when I mine there? Oh no, you put 2 there, don't you? And then take 1 back when you've mined. Is that right? I think you put 2 there to show that you've beaten the monster that's there, and take 1 back to just show I've done the mining there. There we go. Yes, exactly. So I'd kind of like to fight that 5 monster. I won't have the wind elemental helping or hindering me. So I think I'm going to move 2, and we'll get to see some more things that are around me. I'm going to move... This is the chapter 2 things that are coming in, though. I'm going to move 1, 2, and try and boost my riches. So, next to me we have... Oh, we have another trade space, another alchemist spot. Some treasure for a free action. A pond, which is another mining space. It's the level 2 mining space. We go fishing. And we have some more monsters. Some more level 1 monsters, actually, to fight. Which is okay for now. We found another encounter spot. So this is in the... So I don't need the level 1 cards anymore, do I? Because we aren't going to come across any more of those. So the level 2 cards, find the right card back. There it is. Discard. Also visible next to the portal. Oh, true. Oh yeah, so the first one should have gone on the portal, shouldn't it? Luckily, nothing has affected it. So I'm not next to a lovely alchemist place. I am still next to a couple of lovely treasures and an earth elemental. So discard 4 of these. And we have a couple more missions available over here. Hand in. Oh, this is quite nice, isn't it, for next turn? That's the mineral I found. I mined, just. So I could draw 2 of these encounter tiles and keep 1 and get a reputation for filling in that quest there. I can't do it. I could do it this turn, but I was going to... No, I'm going to fight this turn. Next turn I'll do it. So there's some more stuff we've revealed. We have an earth elemental up in that space that... Oh, we need to move down on camera now. There we go. Probably going to have to zoom this out, aren't I, of course. Maybe I need to portal to another area. So the earth elemental can also be encountered, but gives +2 to your die rolls. So makes it easier to encounter him, but you also need higher results to get things off him, and will do +2 to everyone's rolls in combat too. So yes, I'm going to do some combat now. In this space, it's still a level 1 monster. The only reward is 5 money. So we need a new monster from the level 1 deck, and that's going to be a grizzly. It's got 5 health this time. Adds no cards to the cache. Gets a chaos token, a no gar. And you can see its combat table there, how much damage it might do. And yeah, we've got no before combat abilities or anything like that. So we can go straight to a card for it. So it has rolled a 7 to kick us off. There it is. And it's going to use 2 chaos tokens. It can only use 1 because it's only got 1. So we look at what it draws. Curse. Is the next one also curse? It's not. So that would go at the bottom of the cache. It only drew 1 curse. So it's doing the top level. -3 to my roll. Ouch. We're not next to any kind of other elementals. So there we go. That's what's happened. I think it's time for Gar. So I can spend some Gar. I can spend 1 token. It does a -2 in general, but I'm going to re-roll that 4. Hopefully get something worse. No, giving him a 6. So at 9, he's doing 2 damage. Oh no, he's doing 7, isn't he? Because I've done that -2. So now there's this like sunk cost thing. I could spend another one and try and get it down to the 1 damage. And then I'll spend like 10 trying to make me do damage. Oh, we need to reset this down to 0 as well at the start of every new combat. Yeah, I might have to spend my thing to get some more Gar, but I'm going to... Maybe I can get it to roll like 0. Reroll that 6. 3. So now it's got 6 - 4. It's rolled 2, which is no damage. Okay, that's worth it then. I'm happy with that. Looking at me, I haven't really gained anything combat-wise. I've spent this actually to do combat, this action token. So I've just got my quarterstaff. A roll of 5 to 9 gets me 2 damage. A roll of 10 or more gives me 3 damage. But thanks to the curse, I'm facing a -3 to my roll. And I get 6. Not great anyway. -3 is only 3. So am I going to go through doing no damage? It doesn't feel like it. I'm going to use this Gar. Bye-bye, Gar. Reroll that 2 to something better. Here we go. So we've got 9, 10, 11, -3 is 8, which gives me 2 damage, which is half of the Grizzly's health. I'm okay with that. That'll be good. So I'll do that. Get rid of all of the spent things, all the Gar, the chaos tokens, the cards, all gone. And yeah, a new round of combat for the monster. Hey, Heroic Logic, you just got your copy of this today. Look forward to it. It was a good, like, it depends how into punching and organising you are. I did enjoy it. It was a good two hours or more of punching many punch boards out and doing all the organisers and stuff. I did quite enjoy it. But it's a big one. But I think Gloomhaven took me about a similar amount of time when I got that. Combat card for the Grizzly. It's rolling an 8. Ouch. So I think it's time to take that 8 damage. Can't use Chaos tokens because it hasn't got any left. So it's rolling an 8, which is 2 damage. I feel like if I am going to redeem this and get the Gar, I want to use them for my things, right? Wish I could use... I can use this at any time, right? That X means I can just use it. Maybe I have to use it in the healing phase. I'm not going to use a Gar anyway. I'm going to take the 2 damage. 1, 2. I'll use this and get the Gar just in case I need it. I was never going to turn that in for the money. But I don't really want to be left without Gar either. Okay. And we just come to, yeah, see what I mean? Like a load of these extra phases and stuff that I was going through. You can zip, oh, wow. 1, 1. Ouch. So we tick the Die of Hope up. I have to use a Gar, don't I? I can spend this pip to get a +1 to my roll, but I don't want to spend the Gar, but I'm going to take more damage. I'm going to have to fight another thing before I do some trading and stuff. Yeah, I'm going to spend a Gar and just hope that I can get a minimum of 5. 3, 4, 5, 6. Can spend the 1 again, but it doesn't make a difference, does it? What the Die of Hope ended up at. I've rolled a 6, which gives me 2 damage. Grizzly has 2 health left. Is dead. So the rewards on the card. Ouch. Well, ouch, because I do get a reputation, which is always nice. And I get myself a black gem. So digging through the trays for those. So that the black gem can be equipped on items that will accept a black gem, which I don't think any are in the shop at the moment. And does it let you draw extra things? Yeah, draw 3 natural resources and keep 1. Yeah, when you would just mine and get 1 thing. So there are spaces for dual gems. If you have a gem of that type, you can equip it to that item and flip it once around to activate its ability, which could be, a move action. Can be really, really useful things. Not that this isn't useful, it's not useful right now. And then I get 2 of these cards, so I've nearly got a money, but the downside is the monster cache also gets 2 cards. It's got 3 now. It's about to get a gold card next round, and the gold cards are scary. So I can take another trophy, but we haven't got a use for trophies just yet. I'm going to set that back to 0 because I will forget at the start of next combat. I have defeated that monster. I've liberated that space. And so, that's the end of another round. We can go for round 3. See, that round, that was like 10 minutes or something, wasn't it, that round? Maybe a bit longer. So in a new round, get my things back. Ready everything. I haven't really got anything to ready. But I am tempted, as much as I want to go to just a trade place and buy some stuff. Oh, I didn't have my 5 money, did I, either? I got the rewards on the card, but not the space, which was 5 money. I think I'm going to pick up some treasure and see what's over here, maybe. Oh yeah, what's Marty up to? Oh, he's having a bit of a clean. He was, like, as he always is, he was in perfect position before we started. Like, lying really, really nicely, all facing the camera, barely showing a little bit. And then, well, a delivery man did come, and yeah, the door freaks him out for a little bit, so that snapped him out of there. Cool thing arrived there. We've seen more about that in January. Well, it's Viscounts of the West Kingdom stuff. If you're into Viscounts, which, hey, I hope you are, because it's great. There are new things for Viscounts coming, and they're in a sealed box downstairs. Right, what am I doing? A new turn. And so, yeah, I just want to move down here, don't I? I'm probably not going to do any trade this turn, because if I find a new trade place that I get to along my route, I'm not going to be able to do it this round, because I'll have to do the combat on the place first. So I think I'm going to use my 2 movements. I might even have to spend some more movement afterwards. So, going back on the map, I think, can we fit in another map tile here? Because I'm going to go over here, free action, dig for treasure in my level 1 treasure space, and it is a gar. Okay, well, I'll just hand that in. You could keep it and, potentially sell it for a money, but I'm just going to have that as a gar. Now I've got 2 gar tokens back. Right, so that's 1 movement, and yeah, I could be using the tokens to remind me. I've got another 1 left. Oh, I need 2. I will leave that token there. I'm on a space that's not surrounded by things. Immediately, reveal new tile. So there is a trade place. So maybe that's where I'll go and do that fight. It's a level 1 fight as well. And then I'll be at a trade place next time to spend all of my lovely money. I have only got 4 health out of 6. But, I might get some good gear from this. So my second movement is going to be going down here. And free action, you can fulfill a quest. I'm going to give him this mineral from my player board. There we go. You can see that it matches. I could be selling this for 3 money and a reputation, but I'm going to give it to him for a reputation. I'm now at 4 reputation, and that's another set of abilities I could potentially see if I ever get to a shop. And I get to draw 2 of this encounter token and keep 1. So, let's find that encounter token. Is that it? I think that's it, right? Yeah, you can see the guy and everything. So are these all that? Yes, there's a fair few of them. And what have we got? Oh yeah, draw 2, keep 1. So we've got, oh dear, Kite Shield or Kite Shield. So shields are something that you can choose to use after the monster's had its go. It will provide negative modifiers to the monster's roll and or damage. Grizzly should have a health left. Did it have 5 health? Where's that Grizzly card gone? Oh, it had 5 health, didn't it? Right. Thanks, I am. Teleporting back. This might affect my decisions now. I might have died. Yeah, for some reason I was thinking it had 4 health. Teleporting back. We need to do another round of combat where I only had 1 thing. It didn't have any tokens to use any of this stuff, but it rolled a 6, which is 2 more damage. So that's probably going to put me off a load of combat, isn't it? I had 1 Gar token, but I'm going to need to fight back in a minute. So I'm going to have to take that 2 damage, I think. I've got 2 health. But this was on 1, wasn't it? No, thanks for letting me know. I'm going to do it properly where I can. So it's roll a 6, and I'm not going to modify that. I've taken the 2 damage. I am going to roll. And it's, like, at this kind of earlier stage as well, it's easy to get back in, isn't it? I should have spent the Gar. Because I rolled quite well. I got an 8, which means I do 2 more damage. This didn't tick up anymore, so I can't turn it in for another Gar. Didn't need to spend my last Gar. Could have spent it and maybe took less damage, but no, I think that's okay. There we go. And then all the rewards came in as they did before. And the monster is defeated. But I've only got 2 health now, so my thoughts of marching straight up here and having a fight and liberating that and doing some trade might not do that. I do have a Kite Shield now, though. I've got no decision to make, have I? I've got a Kite Shield or a Kite Shield. So that will get revealed with a new thing later. Immediately, I should be revealing new places. I would like something Oh, actually, that's quite nice. There's a portal opened up right next to me. There is an earth elemental next to it. So the earth elemental, I could just try and get some treasure from. There is no downside. There is no damage being taken from fighting the... from confronting the earth elemental. Do you know what I'm thinking? Not have any combat this round and just use my 3 movement to go. One, that is going to reveal some more things, and we're going to have to zoom the camera out. But confront the earth elemental, portal back to the church for 3, and then use another movement to go into the church and heal back up, rather than die and lose some points. That's what I'm kind of thinking. I could, of course, just move up here, get another bit of treasure, confront that one. But I'm just thinking, down here, I'm right next to a portal, so I can portal back and get some health. Because I've only got 2 at the moment. And dying's not a terrible thing. It's going to lose you points, but you will spawn back at the church with full health. You lose things, but it's not like... it's not life or death. Right. So I think... yeah, I'll use my 3 movements. So I'm going to have to adjust this camera angle, aren't I? Because I'm, for some reason, just walking out in one direction. So no, let me do the camera itself. Let me make it smaller. There we go. Hopefully that'll be okay. I think we've just about got room. I've picked up a thing and dropped it, ruining the illusion of the green screen. So I'm using my 3 movements. I've got 2 movement left. Remember that. So that's just a portal. But for moving onto this space, move these trays out of the way. We have found ourselves... that's our level 2 treasure place, but you have to have defeated the monster first. And a water elemental who will heal you. Do you heal when you reveal the water elemental? I feel like I remember that. It's whenever you go in a space next to the water elemental, but I feel like it might be when you reveal the elemental as well. Let me check the appendix. I've got them all up here, which is nice. Well, it's kind of nice. If PDFs loaded a bit quicker, it would be nice. The elemental powers. If you move to a hex or reveal a map tile which causes the hex you are on to now be influenced. So no. If the hex I was on was next to the water elemental, I would now heal for revealing that. But I'm not next to it, so I don't. So I think the plan still stands to go to the church. Although we'll see what we reveal. Because I'm probably going to... like... there's my second movement. Because I want to go to a trade and show you all the leveling up and stuff. But outside forces are working against me. So I need to reveal a couple of new tiles now. And we see. Some more encounter spots. We're into the chapter 3 tiles. We've nearly seen all the tiles already. So that's... oh, there's just a treasure spot I could go to with my 3rd movement. Maybe I'll find something that heals me. I don't think I will, though. It would be nice to go to that. And I'll sort the encounter cards in a sec. Ooh, we have found... what's that called? It's the big... the Dragon Slayer Tower. The best trade place. But again, you have to fight the monster first. And it's a level 2 monster. Which, the level 2 monsters are... yeah, perhaps surprisingly tough. You don't want to just go barging in to one of those. Where have I put the encounter cards? So I need the level 3s. And it's this funky gold building. Here we go. I don't think I've ever seen this building. So there's so much stuff that, theoretically, it'll always be surprising. Well, I shuffle and discard things. Hey, give us a follow on Twitter or Twitch or things like that. And Patreon and Ko-fi help these things happen. And Well, not the services themselves. They facilitate that. You make it happen. Thank you for making it happen. 2, 3, 4. Yeah, discard 4. That's why some of the days, at least, not tomorrow, but some of the days, I am at work here instead of at work at my other work. What once was my only work. So hand in things. Get some good reputation. I haven't got those things, so that's not going to be happening anytime soon. So I've still got a movement. I could just go there and get my treasure. I don't want to make the map any wide though, and I do want to. Yeah, I've got some money. Let's go back to the church and get some healing, and then think about what to do from there. So my one remaining movement, I'm going to go onto the portal, and so for a free action, I can go to another portal space, zoop, over there, and I'm going to use my last remaining action token. As much as I would love to do some mining, I'm going to use the one movement. So remember, it's a movement to get back into the center of the tile. At the church, you don't need to do a trade action here. It even says it on the player aid card. So visiting the church, trade action not necessary. A money to heal 6, so I will pay that. Pay a money to heal 6, so I'm back to full. And I think, reveal first. What was I standing on? Oh yes, when I stood on the good point. Yeah, as soon as I stood on this and arrived, I got to reveal map tiles. But these are the last map tiles, actually. So there we go. That is our map. So we found another wind elemental, another earth elemental, the fire elementals, which are perhaps the coolest looking. The elementals all have this. It's not really a wash. It's kind of like contrast paints. I don't know if they are. They tend to be like in chapter 4 and 5, I think. The chapter 4 and 5 tiles, which aren't in this scenario. But yeah, they do damage to you and would have killed me. So, I'm probably not going to be encountering anything on these tiles at the moment because... Oh, I was supposed to take backs anyway. While I was on this space, I wanted to encounter the elemental. So let's have a quick hero roll. 11 plus 2 for the earth elemental. That was the whole point of me going there in the first place, rather than just go there, reveal the map, and then teleport somewhere else. So that's the best outcome. I would have gotten to draw 2 mining tiles and kept 1. Now I get a basic dig for treasure tile, but also an essence, an earth essence. And hey, who doesn't want essences? So I could spend that to get +8 on a roll, or unlock another slot on my character. And my treasure tile is gonna be... Oh, what an anticlimax. Another shield. A worse shield than the one that I have. Although it doesn't negatively impact my own roll as much. Right. So that was encountering the elemental that I missed out. I'm back at the church. I spent a money to heal. Do I want to spend another money on a potion? I think so. It would be wise to go out with some kind of protection, wouldn't it? And I don't need these trophies. Taking up space. Yeah, the broken shield I can sell it for. The brackets is the sale price. So it's a money back, which is decent. So there we go. I need space in my bag for a healing potion, so one of the trophies gotta go. Okay, and that's the round, isn't it? So, on to round 4. Didn't do any combat that time. But, yeah, you can't just constantly do it unless you get very lucky. Or have all the right things to be able to avoid all your damage. Oh yeah, I'm in the church. I spent all the things. So I'm not very far away. From, like an alchemist's place, or do I want to do some combat on the way? Just you want to do combat on the space itself, don't you? It's tempting to just teleport right back there, because you get 4 money from fighting the monster there if you do it, and then you've got that to spend at the place. What about, let's have a look at the shop itself. So if I went to a basic trade space, which there's only actually one on the map. Oh, there's two. My dice are on one. So I could actually, if I go back to this portal where I just was, I could go here or here and get 4 money first. What would I like to buy from a shop? I'm going to unlock skills, and I might want to buy them. Nothing will take a black gem, but you can, for free, clear the display once, and then you can pay to refresh the display again. I could get a more powerful healing potion, would heal 4, ready up to 2 used abilities. A better weapon, or at least, it needs more. Like, at the moment I would do damage on a 5 or more. This would need a 6 or more, but if you got a 12 or more, it would do 5 damage in 1 hit. The lumber axe. And just, these bits of armor would give you extra health, extra max health. Or get a couple of gems. Those things particularly excite me. I'm probably going to be more inclined. I'd be more inclined to get some gear, I think, and get some extra health, but probably would buy my abilities. Anyway, on my turn, I'm going to then, I want to save the 3 movement for combat. I'm probably not going to need the mining, but I'm going to be on a trade space and I won't be able to trade. I'm probably going to save it then. So let's use the 2 movements, because I need 2 movement to get to one of these places. 1 gets me onto the portal, and I zoom off. 2 gets me... Yeah, I'm going to go onto the more basic one. Am I? This one is next to some treasure spaces, encounter another elemental. But then you're stuck up there with no portals. At least I could just portal out of any of these places. Even like to over here. Yeah, go in the more basic one because I might buy that armor. So that's my 2 movement used up. There's a monster here before you can trade. So I'm going to have to use my combat action, which doesn't matter just yet, but it leaves this mining token. I don't want to move out of this space, and I can't mine here, but I can take one token into the next round with me. So that's probably what I'm going to do. So let's do some combat against a level 1 monster and see what we find. Oh, at the start of the round, a card should have gone in here, which would be the 4th card, which means they are discarded and a gold card is put in the cache instead. They're nastier. So the reward is 2 reputation and a silver card, and we are fighting another grizzly. 5 health. It gets no cards, a chaos token, and nothing else. I don't have any abilities to use. My shield, I can say I'm using that after the grizzly has gone. So what's it rolling? A 6. So a 4 and a 2. It's spending guard tokens. It doesn't have any, so it can't do that. And with a 6, it's doing 2 damage to me. I could, if I used my shield and I was willing to take the -3 to my roll, I could do -2 to its roll, which means it would only roll a 4 and go into the 1 damage category, and it would be -1 to its damage, so I would take no damage. It's just that my roll is going to have a -3 to it as well. I kind of want to do it. I don't know. I can only use my shield like once per combat, right? Can I use it every round? I think it's just once. I'm using the sound of my canning. I've been canning a lot lately. I'm trying to make myself like Coke Zero rather than normal Coke. It's getting there. It's not normal Coke, is it? But hopefully things will thank me for it. So, yeah, shield. I'm going to use it. I'm going to use the shield. So it does no damage, as we discussed. And then I can use my Gar tokens to help my own roll, rather than try and impact its. So I've rolled an 8. -3 is still 5. So I kind of think... yeah, let's not do any Gar. And maybe try and do some Gar tokens on the second roll to do 3 damage and finish it off in 2 combat rounds. I'm happy with that. I rolled an 8. -3 is 5. So that's 2 damage. Which seems alright to me. So do all of that. Deal damage. Back to the start. Healing phase. All of that stuff. Because I can take a bit of damage. I've got a healing potion. Get rid of the combat card. It's just when it uses the chaos token is the dangerous time, isn't it? Is it going to? Yes. It rolled an 8. And it's going to use 2 chaos tokens. It's only got 1, but there's only 1 card in the cache anyway. It is going to use Power Strike at level 1, plus 2 damage. Now, this only applies if it does damage. Same as you, because it's not just straight damage, it's plus damage. Oh, I could have used my +8 to the roll as well, couldn't I? And -2 to my roll. So basically, at the moment, it rolled an 8. It's going to do 4 damage to me. I surely want to use one or both my Gar to stop that happening, but my roll's still going to get -2 to it. I think I want to use Agar. Let's use 1 at least. See what we can get. If this is a 1, it'd be great. Nope. So that puts me in the same position as before. So I can't boost my roll is the thing. And I've already got -2 to it. I'm running out of the tokens. Yeah, this should be on 0, shouldn't it? Nobody's rolled particularly well or terribly yet. Yeah, let's do 1. So that's my last Gar token, by the way, and just puts it back to 4. But it's got -4 from the tokens. So it's basically, it's rolled 4, which puts it down here, which means it does 3 damage, which was not worth spending 2 Gar to do. Like 1 damage less than before, because now I come in with my rolls, and I've just got to go with what my roll is. It's good, though. Oh, wow, that's the best outcome. Oh, no, it's not. It's an okay outcome. So I've rolled 10, which would be brilliant, and finish the combat. That would be 3 damage. But it's got -2 to my roll. We're not next to... oh, actually... the Earth Elemental should be affecting all of this, shouldn't it? I'm not sure if... maybe each of us might have done some damage in the first round, but certainly in this round, all of my Gar was for nothing, which maybe I wouldn't have even used the Gar if I'd remembered that. It does mean that the Grizzly would actually have been on 4, 5, 6 still, which puts it into doing 4 damage, so I'm down to 2. But it also means that the +2 from the Earth Elemental negates his -2 from the Power Strike. I do 10 damage, so I do 10 on the roll, which means I do 3 damage and kill the Grizzly. So I have taken a walloping, but it could be worse. And I've got my healing potion to put me back up to 4 health. Maybe I'll buy some gear that'll boost my health a bit as well. And the gold card, the gold scary card, is gone for now. Okay, all of that can clear off. The Grizzly gets me 2 more reputation, so we're going to see a lot of tiles unlocked. I get a silver card, which gives the monsters a silver card, but I can trade these 4 in for a money. And then on the space itself, that got me 4 money. So I've got 9 money. It's not a ton, but it's some to go in with now. Okay then. So I can't trade, unfortunately. I can't mine or move, so I'm going to save that for next round. and let's start a new round. Round 5. Get a card in the monster's cache. I get 1, 2, 3 action tokens. And yeah, I need to try and fight a level 2 monster, but I don't think it's going to be in the next round or two. I think I would get walloped. We've got to try it before the game's over. No matter how I get on. But yes, we can now... We're in a location to trade. So I can use my trade token. And we can do all sorts of things. You can, and I'm just going to do this first. You can pay a money to unveil hero tiles. So pay 1. And you look at your current reputation. So I'm at 6. Reveal all your tiles up to 6 reputation. And then for each pair that's the same, you have to pick one and discard the other one out of the game. These become tiles that you could purchase. They might be abilities that you just gain immediately. They might be things you need to purchase to equip. These here are both abilities, which are quite nice actually as well. I did. Oh, sorry, I hit the mic. Yeah, just mention I haven't played this character yet. So we've got merchants. During a trade action, you can either reduce the price of one item or service by 1 gold to a minimum cost of 0, or as well as changing the offer for free, you can change it up to an additional 2 times for free. So refresh that display from the shop up to 3 times for free to try and really get what you want. Because in the longer games, particularly in the longer scenarios, there are benefits to having more and more of a particular armor set and armor color. There are abilities that will activate if you have those. I don't think anything's out that I could point to right now where that would make a difference. But it happens. So I have merchant or pickpocket. Outside of combat at a place of trade, during or outside a trade action, you can attempt to steal an item. Choose an item worth 3 or less from the offer at the place you're at, and make a hero roll. If it's between 2 and 7, you fail to steal, and you lose a reputation. If the roll's 8 or more, take the item as if you bought it, but pay nothing. Refill the slot as usual. If you are currently performing a trade while you do this, you may immediately sell the stolen item. I think merchants I like more. So I'm going to have that, and I won't put it in just yet, but I could equip it because I've got some essence where I can unlock these spaces, which you can see, the crystal ball on the ability and the crystal ball on the space here. So the pickpocket is going out of the game. Level 4, we have the option of dagger, a new weapon. So on a roll of 0, this would do a damage. A roll of 4 to 8, it would do 2, so 1 better. And a roll of 9 or more, it would do 3 damage. That's pretty nice. It cost me 3 to get. Or feint. So here we go. Here is the symbol. So for this to be used, you have to have an armor set of 3 or more parts. So the same color of armor, at least 3 pieces. So I could have that, for later, but the dagger is much more exciting. So after any hero roll, you can add 2 to your roll, use it once per round. Or after a monster attack, you can subtract 2 from the monster's roll. I think the dagger. Especially if we're going to be fighting these level 2s. So I haven't got these things yet, but they're coming up. And then my level 6 abilities, because this is the first time I've been to a trade space. Stealth. Use this outside of combat to get 2 movement points. This turn, you can move through and or end movement on spaces with monsters without having to perform combat. Immediately end this effect once you perform any other action or free action. You must liberate the hex to be able to do its normal thing as usual. If you end your turn on a hex with an undefeated monster, at the start of your next turn, you must either perform a combat or use stealth again to move out of here. Or a potion of invisibility or shadow, which is a later ability. Or thief, so similar to pickpocket, but it works on an item with 6 or less. Roll of 2 to 7, you don't get the item and you lose 2 reputation. Roll of 8 to 12, you get the item and get 1 reputation. Oh, lose a reputation still. A roll of 13 or more, get the item. I think stealth might really help me out moving around this map, around all these level 2s. So that's one thing that you can do. You can... hey, Monica, how's it going? You can unveil your hero tiles, and there we go. I can unlock hero or equipment slots. See, some equipment slot is locked. You need to pay money to unlock those slots. Then you can pay to unlock these, but I'm going to pay essence to unlock these slots. So you can put a hero token of yours on to show that you've got those slots available now. And I don't know that I'm going to equip both. Don't forget the purchase price. Yeah, stealth has got a purchase price of 5, whereas merchant was cheap. Thief was cheap as well. Just, I think I'll just lose all of my reputation thieving. I could get a thing of up to 6 though. Just I can't really. I haven't got Gar to help with my rolls and things. It might help me get more towards an armor set. Let's go for it. Let's go for some thieving then rather than stealth. I can't afford stealth. I don't think I will afford it before the end of the game. I'm definitely going to buy the dagger. I'm going to replace my quarterstaff, and I might as well just sell my quarterstaff because the dagger's just better. So 3 to get the dagger. I'm going to sell the broken shield because there's no use for it. I haven't got space for that stuff. I could sell the potion, but that would be silly. I can get merchants, so I can buy for 1 cheaper. Or I could refresh the display twice. So the token is just to remind you have unlocked this space when there's nothing else in it. I'll get my thief ability. Let's try it. So an item worth 6 or less. I'm at this location on the left. What would I like to try and steal then? The helmet, the knee pads I like because you can put a gem in them, but I haven't got that green gem yet. The green helmet can take a gem but doesn't give you as much health. I think, what about the blue helmet? I'm going to try and steal the blue helmet. This could just knock my reputation right down. So, a hero roll. I need at least an 8. Probably a 13, which I don't have any Gar for, so it's not going to happen. I rolled 12. That's pretty cool. So, I lose a reputation and steal the helmet. And I've used my thief ability. Always end up being evil. So there's that spent. My max health now goes up by 2, and so does my current health. So... Oh! I'm next to the Earth Elemental still, so all your rolls are +2. I did roll 13, so I don't lose the reputation. Even. Keep forgetting about this guy. Right. So... Oh yeah, we get a new item, and I might just refresh these before I look at buying things. So, should maybe have gone for the red set, because now we've drawn another thing for it, but I've got a black gem. So I can refresh the items for free once, and I could spend my merchant ability for the round, refreshing it up to 2 more times for free. So what have we got? There we go, there's something from blue. It's expensive though. We've got a throwing dagger, so there is a first strike weapon. So it's just a one-off, but it can happen right at the start of combat. So basically, with the merchant, I can get a 1 discount on things. I've got 5 money. I could get some gems. I can get a 1 discount. There's nothing for 6 that I like. I might use my merchant ability to refresh the display up to 2 more times for free. Let's get rid of those. So not getting the discounts, we'll have to look for something that costs 5. A dart, another nice first strike weapon. No, not into it. It's just like a roll at the very start of combat, and if I get 7 or more, I could do a damage. No. Let's do my last free. Refresh. I see a shield. Yeah, I've got another nice piece of blue armor there to help form a set. But it costs too much. But those boots there, that's an extra walking, isn't it? Yeah, I'm gonna spend 4 of my 5 shiny money to get those boots. And there we go. I've got a space if I get a pink gem. I can move now by spending that and refresh the display. There's another lovely bit of blue armor. Expensive. But like the downside of the knees here is you lose a space in your bag, but if you get the boots, you gain a space in your bag, so it offsets it. You can never have more than 3 bags spaces. Hey Rach. So, that's a lot of stealing and stuff. Finally traded. Oh yeah, we put this down to show you're allowed to trade now. So what do I want to do? I've still got mining actions. I've still got movement. I've still got combat. So I could just pop down. I don't really want spaces that reward me loads with silver cards. They're bad, if anything. Cards that reward me with Gar tokens wouldn't be too bad. And a bit more cash. I can portal anywhere, of course. Go down and then do some mining. So all the spaces with the water, I think, are level 2 combats that I don't think I could do right now. I could just... There is just some free treasure, but I have to walk through monsters to get to it. There's free treasure up there, but it's a lot of spaces to walk for not very much. Oh, do you know what? I'm going to go up here. So I'm going to use the movement from my boots and 1 of the mining tokens. So there's 2 movements. I can move 1, 2 spaces. No more map tiles to reveal spaces. Because moving into the space next to the water elemental heals you for 2. There we go. So I'm on 6 health. And I'm going to use my combat to have some combat. Make sure everything's equipped. Yeah, the kite shield has not been used. So, it's another level 1 combat. What are we fighting? Oh, a shadow beast. It's got 4 health, and for a change, does add cards. It adds a silver card. It's got a lot of tokens. 3 chaos tokens, and a Gar. I do not have Gar. I do have my shield, though. That hopefully I can use. I've got my healing potion and stuff. Yeah, you do start with a healing thing, so yeah, probably a good shout to get it used. And I could go and challenge the water elemental after this. Right, if I survive. So the shadow beast rolls a 10. Ouch. That does tick this die up. But I don't have Gar, so that's pretty awful for me. I'm trying to get Gar from this fight, but I was hoping for something easier. So it's going to use a chaos token. So we draw. It's doing enhancement. Is the next one enhancement? Unfortunately, it is. Ouch. So it is, if it rolled an 8 or more, which it has, it does 2 extra damage. So it's doing 4 damage and -2 to my roll. The water elemental does not affect the combat. It just does the healing that it did when I moved in there first. So it's doing 4 damage. There's nothing for it. I can do and probably should do. See, my kite shield, modifying its roll wouldn't make a difference. So it's just going to do 1 less damage. And I've already got a -2 modifier. I don't think I should make it -5. I think for now I'm just going to take the damage and hope next combat round to make use of that, I think. So I've already got a -2. So I take 4 damage. And there are still cards to play. It's still got chaos tokens. It's going to be bad, isn't it? So, I did roll very well, though. So 12 -2 is still 10. And that's 3 damage. So I only need to do 1 damage to it next time. I haven't got anything else that I can use. Get ready to use my shield next time. Happy with that. So that can go away. The enhancements are done with. And new card. Come on, roll badly. 10 again. So this does tick up so I can get a Gar. Okay, when can I use that? It's on my turn, right? Yeah, it's on my turn. I use the Die of Hope. So, they roll the 10 again. And it's using a Chaos token. And the card is Mind Control. Yikes. So, I just need to use the Kite Shield. Luckily, it can't do its powered up version. There are no more cards in the cache. But its powered up version, it steals Gar or destroys one of these things. I don't have one of those things. So +5 to its roll. It's rolled then 15 and doing 3 damage. So even if I roll 0, my dagger kicks in. And your die roll can't be modified past 0, can it? I don't think so, anyway. I don't know if I'm wrong. So I think use the Kite Shield. -2 to its roll doesn't make a difference, but it would do 2 damage rather than 3. Which I feel like I need at the moment. So I probably should have paid to heal at the shop, so I would have still had the potion and stuff. Which you can do. You could have healed 5 for that. That would have been. Would that win our money? Yeah, it's our money to heal anywhere. So I could have healed. So I'm going to use my Kite Shield. It means I've got a -3 to my roll. But hopefully. Well, not hopefully. The dagger's fine. I rolled an 8. So 8 -3 is 5. I do 2 damage. He's got 1 health left, so he's defeated. And even at the end of combat, you can use the Die of Hope, which has somehow shifted along. I think the camera's probably swung a little bit. You can use the Die of Hope to get a Gar token. So I'll have that, thank you. And rewards for beating him. 2 reputation puts me on 8. 2 silver cards gives me half a coin, but it also gives them 2 silver cards in their cache. Get rid of all other cards and things and tokens. That monster's defeated. And on the space, I get 3 money and 2 Gar. There's the Gar. So I've built up some stuff again. And I've still got a movement. I could go and talk to the water spirit. And I could get some healing and some stuff. So it's, do I get healing for going onto her space? If you move onto a hex influenced by her, does she influence the space that she's on? It's just every surrounding space, right? I don't think she influences the space that it's standing on. But I could get a water element here. Even if I roll very badly. I could heal 12 if I roll really well. I'll get 2 level 2 treasure if I roll averagely. I think let's use that last movement. I'm going to have to spend a few to get back out of here. Use my last movement to go over here. And let's confront the elemental and see what I roll. It's going to be, come on, 7 to 9. 8? Well, that's exactly what I wanted. So I heal 2, which I could do with a bit more healing, but I'm on 6 health now. And I get 2 of these level 2 treasures. It's not even just look at 2 and keep 1. It's 2 level 2 treasures. So they're going to be a potion that I can use to move one or explore two monsters, so you can look at two monsters from the deck and decide whether to discard them or not. They do influence their own space too, so I heal two again. Oh, actually, it doesn't matter, does it really, for me, because I would heal two again as I moved back out onto that space next turn. So I'll be full health again. So I don't necessarily need to retreat anywhere. My other bit of loot, hey Sanderman, is a torn sling, great. A fast weapon. So it does mean when I equip for combat, am I going to have the sling for some fast attack, which can negatively affect his roll for things, or the kite shield. One or the other is going to have to go in the bag for now. But yeah, good point. The potion's going to be great for looking at the level 2 monsters. I think the others are. It's very much that old fantasy art style. Yeah, the other characters are. Yeah, there's a good balance in there. That's Tisiri in particular. But yeah, it is still in there a bit, and I can't really say much because we have Medora in there. But I understand, like when it's only like that, which for some franchises it still entirely is. It can get frustrating. But yeah, for the men and the women, there's a bit of variety. What was I doing? I was getting rewards for encountering the elemental, and now I'm over here. That's it for the round. So we're into round 6. New silver card, which is 3, so they don't get a gold just yet. Unit to be on 0. I get all of my stuff back. Reset all these things so they're usable again. And I'm off in a corner, not doing very much. So I kind of feel like I've got a little bit of money, not enough to go and get another piece of armor, though. I would like one more piece of armor, really, to go and fight the level 2 thing. Doing these quests isn't going to help me. So I can just teleport somewhere completely different and get some stuff. To probably I could spend a round doing something. Yeah, it's got to be warm enough. She's Hunter. Yeah. Hi, Pam. Yeah, I think this I only showed the women at first, but for the male character, you've got the He-Man, and you've also got the wizards and stuff. It's like it's fantasy archetypes, isn't it? That you are like playing as, but in their actual like gameplay form, yeah, they've got loads and loads of different ways that they can go. In that, like, it's tough that when I first just saw pictures after like Euthia was mentioned, I was just thinking Mage Knight, kind of because a bit of the look of the hexes and that kind of thing, and some of that stuff carries over. Getting the skills as you level up and just broadly that kind of adventure thing. But the gameplay itself, obviously, very very different, and the branching paths of your various skills as well as all of the stuff that you can buy. Like Mage Knight is very varied in itself as well. Yuthia is very rich, though. I think that's what I was trying to say. About 10 minutes ago. What was I doing? It's a new round, isn't it? I'm stuck up here. Not getting much done. I think I got some stuff done. We've got 2 rounds left. I want to try and have a combat. So there's only level 2 combat around me now. And I think I would die. And if I die from the level 2 combat, I'll probably die again next round. So I'll probably want to do one more practice bit of combat. Try and get some gear next time and then have a fight. So where would it be good to do that on the map? Is there like a level 1? I suppose potentially like level 1, get some money, do some fighting, and then do the level 2 next time, and possibly some mining to finish the game off. I think that's the thing to do, isn't it? 2 movements. I can actually... I've got my boots and everything as well that can move me. So my boots could be 1 combat. One movement. And then the mining could just be another. And then I could do the trade action this round. Yeah, so there's my 1-2 movements. Done. I'm on the space. I need to have a level 1 combat. Looks, yeah, it does visually look a lot like Mage Knight, does it? And the scoring tracks and the tokens and stuff. Definitely had to have been an inspiration, right? And yeah, we need to get... All right, I like... what about Mage Knight Live? I think at some point, I haven't done it for a while now. But yeah, I want to do it. It's kind of the thing I was worried about for this stream. That I think this is going to... It's going to be like 2.5 hours, I think, probably, in the end. But yeah, I worry for like bigger scenarios and Mage Knights especially. Like, it can go on and still enjoy it, but things have to happen at certain times. And like, I don't know, if I like start a stream at like 10 a.m. or something like that. Great if you live in the UK or you're up late, like on the west coast of America. But not great if you're anywhere else. Right, so I'm going here. I'm going to the alchemist place. Right here I can get the big pot. Which big pot? Oh, the heal. The big pot? Is that like just something that's available generally here? Right, I'm fighting. Let's see what we're fighting first. We are fighting another shadow beast. I don't like them. Okay, so first of all, need to draw another card, which gives them 4 silver cards, which they discard for a gold card. They get their 3 chaos tokens, which are going to help them play cards. They get a Gar token, which is going to help them reroll. And then they do stuff I don't like. So for equipping before we start... Oh yeah, I can buy that nice potion, which would be good for the final combat. For this, do I want the sling for fast attacking? Or do I want the shield for it to do a bit less damage but will hurt my rolling? So that could just do a damage if I rolled really well on it. It's just, you know, the shield doesn't even need a roll. It will do its thing. And I've got these Gar and all of that. Yeah, I'm gonna have my shield. I like my shield. So that's my equipping. The monsters roll. Rolled a 5. Okay, that's more like it. Stop rolling 10s all the time. And it's going to use up to 2 Gar tokens. It only got 1 Gar token, so it's going to re-roll. I think if it's a 3 or less, it re-rolls. So it'll do its lowest die. Just, you know, things that make sense. Roll a 1. So it's now rolled 7 plus 2. It's worked the same way as if I use these tokens. It's rolled 9 altogether, which is going to be 2 damage. Which, do you know what? I feel like I can kind of live with. Yeah, I'm fine with that. Like, I could have used the kite shield to get nothing, but I want to save that for next time in case it really, really hurts me. Yeah, I'll take the damage. Oh, thanks, Pan. Thanks for tuning in. I hope that I do you proud in the rest of the game. Hope I come up with. Hope I can at least defeat a level 2 monster. We should be able to. So not using the shield yet. I'm just going to come in with my dagger. Where's my dice? Here they are. Not using any abilities, am I? And I rolled a 6. There's no elementals affecting us. A 6 is 2 damage. That's half the Shadow Beast's health. I don't think I'm going to spend any gore. I want to kind of hang on to stuff, don't I? For the big combat next round. I'm happy doing half health to it, because I can just roll a 4 next time and kill it. It's only got 4 health. I'm okay with that. So get rid of the gore that's been spent and the card that's been used. And for a new round, we have a roll of 7. 6 and a 1. So it is going to try and use a gore and 2 chaos tokens. So this could be worse. It's not got any gore, so it can't help its 1. And I surely can reroll its 6 to something nicer for me. It's going to use 2 chaos tokens. It's got 3, but kind of a good thing that's happened from it emptying the cache is that it's what's the rest of that sentence? It's only got 1 card, so it can only activate 1 thing. And this gold card can't be powered up by other gold cards because it hasn't got them. So it is just doing the level 1 thing. It gains a chaos token, +3 to its roll. Oh, that's not a chaos token. +3 to its roll this round, and +2 to its rolls for the rest of combat, and a silver card. But it gains the card, I believe. We've already decided which cards it's drawing, so I don't think it then goes back and spends another chaos token. It can do that next round, but I think when we do the abilities, when we actually instigate the abilities, we have finished drawing cards. Correct me if I'm wrong on that, but I think that's the way it works. So what does this all mean? It's rolling 7, 10, 12, and doing 3 damage at the moment. So I think the kite shield, it's going to be -3 to my roll, but that means it will only roll 12. It will only roll 10, so do 2 damage. Yeah, but it didn't have enough cards when it's like the drawing the chaos tokens is a separate step, isn't it? In the solo combat. Let me just check. Yeah, chaos actions. It attempts to perform the chaos actions. When does the effect of the card happen? Yeah, you draw the cards. Yeah, I think for this specific situation, it said it was spending 2 chaos tokens, so normally it would do 2 different actions, and it would see if either of those was powered up. In this case, all it had in the cache was 1 gold card. So even though it said 2 tokens and it had 2 tokens, it just, you draw the cards and see how its stacks are working. Then it does the things on the cards at the appropriate levels. Then you move on. So because it only had 1 card to begin with, it only does 1 action this turn, but now it's earned more chaos tokens and put more cards in the cache, so it will be able to do 1 next time if it draws that. So it rolled 12 and is doing 3 damage, but I'm using my shield, so it only rolls 10, which is 2 damage, and -1 damage, so it's doing 1 damage to me. Although really, I'm not that bothered, am I? I'm paying for healing probably at this alchemist place. Anyway, because maybe I don't do the shield and I just take 3 damage, because the alchemist heals you for 8. Yeah, I won't use the shield because I don't want my roll to have -3 on it. So I will take all of that damage. So, I rolled 11 anyway. Yeah, but these soul control cards are like the solo versions. So like this would stay in effect now for the rest of solo play, for the rest of this combat anyway. And the monster permanently gets +2, but it's still, these things still kick in, right? Because these are, I think these are the only ones that get replaced in the solo game. There are a set of encounter cards, and the soul control combat cards get changed for the solo game. It's got the little solo symbol there. Either way, we don't have to worry about anything. I rolled 11. I do 3 damage. I have killed the Shadow Beast. I feel like, yeah, I'm ready for level 2. I get a reputation, which puts me at 9. I get a green gem, which I can't equip in anything yet. Maybe I'll be able to buy something. And I get 2 silver cards, which is nice for me, because now I have 4 and can trade them in for a money, which I need right now. But it also means that the monster cache gets 2, which means it's got 3, and it will get a 4th at the start of the next round, which gives it a gold card to go into the combat with. And then on the space, I get 4. I have opened this stuff for trade. I could go and do that mission and get 4 money and a reputation. It's just, it's not actually that far away, is it? Because it's right next to a portal, and then that's right next to a level 2 combat to finish the game off with. It's a point, isn't it? I don't know. Maybe we'll do that. Right, so I've done that. That was my combat action. So I can do my trade action this turn. And at the Alchemists, I am at level 9, so I could reveal my tiles for a money. I will pay 1 to heal back up. Because we don't want to go into this level 2 fight with 3 health. I'm going to go back up to 8 health. I think, as well, I should explore 2 monsters. Spend this so I've got a space in my bag. But also, we know what we're up against. So I can look at the 2 level 2 monsters and see what we're going to fight. So it's either going to be one of these, or I discard both of them and it's going to be something that's a mystery. So the Orc Warrior has 9 health, 2 Chaos tokens, and a Gar. Does some harsh damage, easy to roll high damage. I think I want the Orc Warrior, though, over the Kobold Shaman, who adds more cards to the cache, 2 more cards, gets 3 Chaos tokens, and a Gar. He has to roll higher numbers to do that level of damage, but I'm thinking the Orc Warrior. What do you reckon? I don't... Yeah, out of all of them, just because there's only going to be 1 card in the cache, it could be that soul control again. But I just feel that the Kobold Shaman's going to get to play loads of different things, possibly stealing my Gar and stuff. I think I would be lucky to get a weapon with 4 damage. Let's look. Like, we've not unlocked these things, but we could know these things by looking at the player aid. I could get a hunting bow, potentially. A weapon with 4 damage if I roll a 10 or more, though. Now, I could make it so that I do the combat next to an earth elemental. That's something that I could do. Or the throwing knife is just a fast attack. I see what you're saying, though. The Kobold Shaman could be finished off in 2 rounds of combat rather than 3. If I go for that weapon, though, I've got 8 money. So if I got the bow, which would be 3 for the bow and 1 for unlocking the ability, I could buy the potion that would heal me for 4, and maybe that's just all I buy. Yeah, Shaman. Shaman on top. And then it's a money to unlock your level's tiles. So I'm only at level 9, so I just see these. I have to choose one or the other. It's going to be the bow. I'm just going to have to hope that I roll decently as well. got the kite shield. Yeah, so that's the one for unlocking it. It cost me 3 for the hunting bow, but I can sell the dagger for 2. Maybe I should sell the sling. I'm going to sell the dagger. So it only cost me 1, basically, the hunting bow. I could sell the shield. The shield gets me 4 back. I think I want to... I've got my thievery as well that I could do. I feel like I've got 6 money. I want that potion. That's going to help me. And then a movement potion. I'm going to refresh the display for free. And it's going to be... Oh, this is before my attack. I can add some damage potentially with a hero roll. It's just like it's a scroll, isn't it? It's a spell that I can do. Oh, I might just stop here. Or I could use my thing later, couldn't I? Oh, I want that helmet as well. It's not as good as the one I've got, but I could put the green token in it and get +1 to a roll, potentially. I don't think I would do that. I feel like the scroll that gets me Gar would be nice. I'm going to get rid of this trophy. How much money have I got? 4 money. So I've only got space for 1 Gar, unfortunately. Why don't I sell the sling for 2 and buy this Gar with it? Because I think that's going to make a big difference. And then, oh, there's some things that I'm not having. Ooh, these scrolls. So yeah, space in my bag is an issue more than anything now. A scroll that would give me +4 to my roll when I want to roll 10 or more on the hunting bow seems better than one that would add 3 damage. Because even if I rolled and got my 4 damage plus 3 damage from this, that's still 7 and still doesn't kill it. Whereas that +4 could help me secure rolling 10 or more. Or as you say, I could use my 2 refreshers to see if there's anything better out there. We're making a video, aren't we? Let's see more tiles. Because like, even in a long solo game, unless you're refreshing it loads, there's so many of these things you won't see. So a ring that you can put gems into, I don't have those colours. A ring there, give me +2 to a roll. And I could put my green luck gem in. It's not as good as the +4 scroll I could have had, but I could use the +2 and the +1 on separate rolls rather than having to use the +4 in one big go. So I'm going to try and steal it. I've got 4 money. I can't have my 1 discount anymore. I'm going to try and steal it. If I get an 8 or more, I can steal it. And I could potentially afford to use a Gar, right? I rolled 5. So what if I used a Gar? There is 12, which means I'm not next to anything, so I lose a reputation, but I do steal that for free. So I'm on 8 rep. I'm going to have to unlock a slot if I want to use it. But this does refresh first, and I've got a free... Oh yeah, I'm not going to refresh anything else anymore. So what I'm going to do? Pay 2... So I stole that. Pay 2 to unlock my ring slot, so I can put that in there. I can put the green gem in it and get the +1 to a roll from it. And then I've got 2 to buy some more gore. Which I don't have any more money, but like I might as well just use one of them now to put me back up to full. So going into this fight with 6 gore and stuff, I feel good about this fight. It could all come crashing down, of course. But let's not worry about that. So, end of the round. Clear all of this old stuff away. We're going to need the silver card shuffling because we're going to need to use one in a minute. Get rid of all of the tokens. And for the big finale, where shall I go? Yeah, I could just, as you said, teleport down there and fight that big 6. Or I could do this one over here and do some mining afterwards. No, it's treasure rather than mining. Right then. So, a silver is added to the cash at the start of the round. Gives it 4 silver, which become a gold. I refresh all of my things and get my 3 tokens. I can just use my boots 1 movement to go 1. Do you know what I could have done as well? I could have sold... I could have used the extra refresh and sold this for 2. I won't now. But, yeah, so that's 1 movement. Puts me on here. You can't go in the Dragon Slayer Tower, by the way, until you've liberated all the spaces around it. So, I'm not doing any mining here, am I? So I might as well... Let's just use my 1 movement to go here. Maybe I'll trade in. I won't have the movement to trade as well. But hey. Could potentially go somewhere and get some treasure with the last movement. Combat. Against a level 2 enemy. Which we know to be a Kobold Shaman. It puts 2 silver cards in the cache. It gets 3 chaos tokens and a Gar. 0, yep, all reset. Am I using anything before the combat? I don't think so. Well, good. I could go in there and... No, I won't be able to go in there and steal stuff. Yeah, it's had its cards. It needs to do an attack then, doesn't it? 12! Okay, that ticks up. And it does 1 chaos token. It goes from the gold stack first. So this can't be beefed up because it's only got 1 card in that stack. +2 damage if it does damage. And -2 to my roll. Oh yeah, 6 coin is an extra point, 5 points. 5 gold per rep. Good point. And I might, with my last movement, I could go over to the encounter space and show him all of the liberated things that I've done. And the kobold roll a 12. Yeah, I've got 6 gore, so its roll could, like, I wonder if I could get it down to 0, really. So, it can't be any worse than it already is. So now I've knocked it down to 8. So now it's doing 3, still doing 5 damage. But I've got my shield and everything. Gore again. Roll the 6. Come on, 1. 3. So what's that? 7, 5, 3. It's now rolled a 3. Which puts it onto... If I can make it roll 0, it won't get the +2 damage. So let's just spend the gore. Come on, 1. 6. Still, that's 9. minus 2, 4, 6. So that's still on 3. Maybe I should leave it there. Shouldn't have spent that last one. I could just push it a bit further. Oh yeah, shield, good idea, yeah. The kite shield, it's going to be hard for me to roll well in this roll. It's going to be really tough to roll 10. Because I'm going to have like -5 to my roll. But the kite shield means the shaman's doing no damage. Because it's rolling 3, -2 is 1. Doesn't matter about the minus its thing, because it's doing 0 damage. And when it does 0, it can't do the plus damage. So it does nothing to me. So we could have 3 rounds of combat, really. Because in the first round, it did no damage to me. And I've got this heal 4. Probably should have taken some damage. But yes, I can scroll myself back up to some gore. And in my combat phase, use my hunting bow and my dice. And, oh wow. So that is, and I've got a +1 from here potentially as well. 11 -5. So I've got 6. The downside of the gar is, I'm probably not going to roll that well, am I? So I rolled a 6, so that's 2 damage. But I've got 3 gar, and I've got this +3 here. Let's try it. Leave the 6 as it is, not re-roll that at all. Let's get these out of the way so I don't confuse it. 5 again. So now I'm on 8. So let's just spend the +2 from here. I haven't spent the gem. I'm just spending the +2. There's 10. Still got 2 gore. There's 4 damage. Half health done. So let's clean up all this stuff that was spent. And it's got no more gold cards in its cache. It could potentially do 2 different silver things, though, this round. I didn't spend that. So I've still got a +1, and that might even tick to another gar. I don't know how this card keeps moving. The camera must be moving. Yeah, the thing the camera is on is not working as well as it used to, which is worrying. You know, for a thing that's holding an expensive camera, you want it to work well. Neither camera can accurately capture the actual purple of this cloth, though, for some reason. Right. Well, for some reason. It's because I can't colour correct it properly. I'm trying. I'm learning. Right. It rolled a 2. Oh, it has got a gar, but it's only got 1 gar. So, it will use its gar and re-roll a 1. Okay, that's worse for me. So it has now rolled a 9 in total, but I can knock that 6 right back off. And it is going to spend 1 chaos token. It has done curse. Is the other one curse? No. So it just does level 1 curse. So -3 to my roll. It's rolled 9 at the moment, which is 3 damage. I think I should take it. Use all this to make sure I roll 10. I've got 8 health. I'm just going to take 4 damage. Fine. This could all blow up back in my face, of course. So I've got a -3 to my roll. Here we go. 5. -3 gives me 2. Reroll that 2. Okay, what? Oh, that was a 4, wasn't it? Was it? Or was it a 3? Oh yeah, it does 3 damage, not 4. So what have I got now? 10. -3 though. So that still doesn't work. No. 10 -3. Seven, 8, 9. So still need some more gar. Reroll this. Oh. I think that's just well, not completely ruined it, but it's messed things up. So that is now 5, 9, 6, which I could boost to 7, 8. Use gem. Oh, this. No. Yeah, they're only +1 each, though. So I've got 5, 7, 9. -3 is 6. 7, 8. Sadly, I don't think I've got anything else that I can use. Just because if that had been something better than a 1, it's not over, but yeah. So I do 2 damage to it. So we're going to have another round of combat. And now, it's a bit worrying because it still might roll badly next time. Nobody's got any gore now. I have still got a +1 from here and a +1 from here. I might be able to get a gore from here if rolls don't go well. So, it has still got a chaos token if it chooses to use it. And it's still got 1 silver card in the cache. What's the Kobold Shaman doing? He's rolling quite well. But I do have... Should I heal? Can it do 5? I haven't got anything to affect this roll, have I? I know I've seen its roll technically now, but I'm going to heal and waste 1 of the healing. Just thinking, it could do 5 damage quite easily with whatever's on that card. We've seen the card, haven't we? I can't remember what it was. Yeah, I think it's better to waste 1 of the healing from the card, from the potion, in case it kills me now. Oh, we might not have this. It uses its last chaos token on mind control, which is a +5. So no, it wasn't going to do 5 damage to me, unfortunately. Well, not unfortunately, that's a good thing. But it means I can't do anything to its roll. It has rolled 9, which isn't enough to tick this up, sadly. Which means... yeah, so I shouldn't use the potion. Because, yeah, I can ask you and you remember that it was a curse. So it is rolling 14, which is 4 damage. But then, in the hero healing phase, I can use this for its maximum potential of 4 healing. And then... yeah, I've got no gore, but if I roll badly, I'll get a gore, but then I'll need it because I've rolled badly. I can get +2, so I need an 8, right? Well, actually, no, I only need a 3 now because it's only got 2 health. It's fine. There we go. 6, 8, 9, 10. I'm going to overkill it and do 4 damage anyway. There we go. It's done. And I get 4 reputation and a silver card. Their cache gets a card. 1, 2, 3, 4. The space gets me 6 money. And I've killed that. And then I have 2 movement left. I think I'm going to go 1. Zip. 2. And for a free action, I'm going to hand this in. Liberate at least 1 place of trade. I've liberated 2 places of trade. So that gets me 4 money and a reputation. Which is decent, right? I think that's a good thing to do. I could have gotten some treasure, but I don't think it was going to be as good as that. So, that ends our 7th and final round. And the score. So I didn't die, so I don't lose points from that. How does the score... where are the rows of this score? The big castle. Yeah, but I wouldn't have been able to get into the castle. Like, I only had this, this 2 token. So, otherwise I would have gone in there and at least gotten something. And as you say, yeah, you can buy Gar there. But yeah, I only had that. I'd already spent my movement from here. So if I had a movement and that, I would have gone into that castle. So for scoring... it's like... You lose points for every time you died, but I didn't. Going back to my scoring bit. Here we go. So remove all hero tiles from your hero board. So say goodbye. Oh. And you place a trade token. Oh, right, I get you. Place a trade token because technically you are liberating a place of trade rather than just fighting a monster in the wilderness. I see. So, yeah, because they're with different values depending on which thing you have out there. So remove all hero tiles from your board and gain gold equal to the training cost or purchase price. So I've got... Right, including... And the slots equal to the unlock price. So 6, 10, 13, 14, 19, 23, 25, 34. 20, 30, 4. Remove your essences and gems and get 2 gold each. Yep. Gain gold even for gems put on equipment tiles, but not for essences on ability tiles. Oh yeah, because there's some abilities where you can put gained essences on them to make them work, and like you're not affected by certain elementals and stuff. There's so much stuff that you can get in this. Yeah, for each unlocked equipment slot, gain gold. For each natural resource thing you have, gain gold. Then you get a reputation for every 5 gold you have rounded down. So I have 10, 20, 30, 35, 40. Is this 40? Is this 50? 48. So it's like going to be 9 points. So 22. Then gain reputation equal to the scoring table. So based on the... It's not for who did the most, is it? Of stuff? Oh yeah, I'm supposed to keep the cards for fulfilled quests as well. So I haven't got other hero tokens, trade tokens, interaction tokens. Oh yeah, points based on how many you did. Oh, I get you. So, how many of this token have I got out on the board? 1, 2, 3. Only 3, actually. So I don't get any points for that. Interaction tokens. It's asking a lot of me. Oh yeah, you can't see this, but zoomed in over here. Interaction tokens, so the elementals and everything. 1, 2, 3, and mining. 4. Didn't get any points from that. Liberating trade is just a point each. 1, 2, 3. So that's something. Puts me on 25. Oh no. No, it's not a point each. It's how many did you do? I did 3, so I get 5 points. So that's more. How many tokens of other players for killing them? You don't get that solo, of course. How many quests did I do? I believe I did 2. So that translates to 2 points. So, final score. Oh, and in this particular scenario, every level 2 monster you killed is worth 2 reputation. I killed 1, so that puts me up to 31 as my final score for this starting scenario. So as I said at the beginning, it's kind of a... It's not introductory in the way that like Mage Knights is introductory, but it's, you know, it's shorter. It's not applying any extra restrictions and rules and processes in the scenario itself. So like, this is the one to start with. It's faster, it's shorter, get the most points. But, you know, like the next one along is have this tournament at the end and survive it and kill all this harder stuff, fight against bounties and things like that. But there are scenarios upon scenarios that you can see. You can see on Board Game Geek all the files. The rulebook's got all of the base scenarios. There's an elemental expansion that's got even more scenarios. Yeah, loads and loads of stuff. And as you can see, like, the amount of stuff that's just in the shop stacks, and then all of the treasure stacks and mining stacks. There's so much to see still that have just barely scratched the surface off. But we'll be doing some more probably in February, maybe sooner. But I always think things will be sooner, and then there's like a million coming all the time. But yeah, getting me still okay. But thank you for joining me, everyone. Yeah, I was a week or something. Am I there? Play along with me tomorrow for some roll and write pinball. Thank you very much for being here now, though.